Earlier this year, I did a video called 10 Things Wrong with Godzilla. There it is, it's playing in the Berry telly right now, bit sped up so I can get more of it in. Now, two things came from that video. First of all, it made John Joe do this. And secondly, and more importantly, lots of people actually commented saying, can I do Godzilla vs. Kong? Well, wait no longer, my friends, here it is, the film you've been asking for. I'm Berryman and this is 10 Things Wrong with Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong is a 2021 American monster film directed by Adam Wingard. In the film, Kong clashes with Godzilla as humans lure the ape into the hollow earth to retrieve a power source for a secret weapon to try and stop Godzilla's mysterious rampages. When the film was released, it received generally positive reviews from critics, especially towards its visual effects and action sequences, but there was a lot of criticism towards the human characters. So what have I found wrong with it? Well, join me as I discuss 10 things wrong with Godzilla vs. Kong. Number 10. Opening credits. So we're starting off this film at the very beginning of this film with the opening credits, which should either be enjoyable or just tell us who made the film. One of those two things. But this film tries to fill in all the gaps that we've missed. If you haven't seen the other three films, sort of, it mentions not much about Kong Islands, I noticed, but it seems to cram it all in and it just ends up being a jarbled mess. I didn't follow what was going on in the opening credits. It didn't appeal to me. In fact, yeah, the opening credits made me want to switch the film off. You don't want that during an opening credits. That's why a lot of film companies now don't actually put opening credits. They put the opening credits at the end of the film. Yes, Hollywood, I noticed that one. But yeah, it was a bit of a jumbled mess, really. Number 9, bad guy. So because this is a stereotypical someone versus someone film, someone has to be the good guy and someone has to be the bad guy. Now, the thing is, they've made Godzilla the bad guy. Even though at the end of Godzilla King of All Monsters, he pretty much had established himself as a good guy. So you've opened this film up by ruining the end of the previous film. And no. I mean, why couldn't you have them both as a good guy and not getting on? Nature will actually say two good creatures that are poised to destroy each other and fight each other will inevitably destroy each other. Nature could have helped here, but just to make a story and turn Godzilla into the bad guy when the last film turned Godzilla into the good guy, you've just ruined the end of the last film, really. Number 8. Talking Kong. Yep, you heard the title right. Kong can talk by sign language. I'm not even going to attempt it. I cannot talk sign language, so we won't even try that. But why do I have a problem with it? Well, I probably wouldn't. If this was a Kong film or a sequel to Kong Skull Island, I'd probably be praising it. But you're adding extra elements to this film that don't need to be there. This film is called Godzilla vs. Kong. We pay money to go to a cinema to watch Godzilla vs. Kong. I've got the popcorn and am sitting in my seat to watch Godzilla vs. Kong. I have not paid my money to watch Kong talk to a little deaf girl. As much as it's sweet, it shouldn't be in this film. Now, if you'd done another film before this or even a film later on, it would have worked perfectly. I'd be praising that. But this is the wrong film to be making Kong able to talk to people. Number 7, looking. So the human bad guys, because let's face it, there's human bad guys in this film, are idiots. I'm being serious, they're complete and utter idiots. They have underground railways, anti-gravity machines, I don't know what the hell they were, but basically they're transport pods, transporting dangerous goods from one area of the planet to the other area of the planet, aka US to Hong Kong. So someone's gone up to shut the door while there was 3 people inside. Would it have killed you to stick your head in the door before you close the door? A lot of these things are just stupidity. If you're going to lock something, you always make sure there's no one in there before you lock the doors. That's just stupidity. But unfortunately, that's not the worst part of human stupidity. Number 6, security. So, carrying on from that, there's 3 people that had no real place in this film at all, because let's face it, they didn't really progress the story at all. We're walking around highly secretive bases for ages. Seriously, about 50% of this film, they're walking around one base, accidentally travel to Hong Kong and walking around another base before they finally caught. These are highly skilled, top secret bases that the government don't know exist, and these people are walking around like it's Disneyland. I'm pretty sure someone, at least one person, would have noticed way beforehand. Places like this have security cameras with about 10 guards watching it. There have been guards every 5 seconds, but no, they were just walking around and around and around and around. It's really unbelievable. But then again, I am talking about a film where a giant ape fights a giant lizard. Number 5, Sully. Wait, Berryman, Sully's in Monsters Inc. Yes, he was. And he was lovable. Everybody loved Sully. Everyone loved Boo. Don't you think Kong looks like Sully in this scene? Turning blue, let's put a blue filter over that. Does he look like Sully now? Possibly, but it's just wrong. As much as I think that's cute and I like Monsters Inc., making Kong look like Sully is just wrong. Full stop. There's not really much more to say about this one, really, is there? Number 4, Hong Kong. No, I'm not going to actually have a go at Hong Kong itself. In fact, I'm actually going to praise the makers of this film that they didn't choose to have the final fight in America like most Hollywood films would have. Having it in Hong Kong was brilliant. I actually enjoyed that. So what is the problem with Hong Kong? Well, I don't know. Ask the makers of this film. Because they realise they're tracking Godzilla, who turns around and starts heading towards Hong Kong. They go, oh, he's heading to Hong Kong. Should you reckon you should tell the people of Hong Kong to evacuate? Well, they did actually do that when Godzilla turned up. These people travelled from the United States to Hong Kong before Godzilla got there, and it wasn't evacuated. Seriously, you had hours to try and evacuate Hong Kong, and you waited to the last possible second when Godzilla's turned up in the bay. We should evacuate. Really? Number 3, rip-off. How can a giant ape fighting a giant radioactive lizard be a rip-off? Well, it's not. The Hollow Earth, on the other hand, is. Now, as much as I would have probably liked to know a bit more or have the final fight in the Hollow Earth is a rip-off of Jules Verne's Journey to the Centre of the Earth, where the dinosaurs rule supreme in the Earth's core. Yeah, could have thought of something better, really, couldn't you? Number 2, flip phone. Nope, nothing's gone wrong. No, I'm not on your screen. The truth is, on this one, I have accidentally messed up. When I watched this film, the phone appeared not to have a camera. When I watched it through a second time, the phone looked like it didn't have a camera. Now, coming to edit this video, I can quite clearly see, as I am showing you on the screen, this phone has a camera. Yeah, I completely and utterly messed this one up, so yeah, number 2 doesn't count. This week, there's only 9 things wrong with this film. What am I going to do? I need shooting. Number 1, MechaGodzilla. Now, before you shout at me saying MechaGodzilla was cool, I agree. Seriously, I agree that MechaGodzilla was absolutely frigging awesome. So why am I putting him on the list? Because he shouldn't have been in this film. It's the same going back to about the Kong Contour. it's a brilliant idea. You could have actually ended on this film on MechaGodzilla waking up, but MechaGodzilla is so iconic, and you guys did such a brilliant job of making him look awesome and deadly that he deserved his own film. And that is what the problem is. You have reduced it down just to create a bad guy that these two team up to defeat. It's the same issue that Superman versus Batman did, where Doomsday turns up, so these two have to team up. Doomsday's too powerful and too awesome to do that. These characters need a whole film to develop them, to show off their powers, to show how deadly they are. You could have had Kong still come in at the end of that film to help out, but as the bad guy to bring the two together to make that truce, you've wasted MechaGodzilla, which is such a shame. Final thoughts. Now let's face it, when you put V in a film, it doesn't work out very well. Batman v Superman, Freddy versus Jason, the original King Kong versus Godzilla. They didn't work out very well. Is this an exception to the rule? Yes, sort of. The thing is, watching this film, when you watch it, it opens fantastically up until the first fight. Let's face it, that's a stereotypical Hollywood pattern. And then you do have this little lull in the story where it sort of dulls down, where the secondary plot takes over more, where you don't actually care, doesn't move the film along, and yeah, just ignore the middle bit of this film. I was going to put the lull in the script as with 10 things wrong with, but you get to the last, 45 minutes, and oh my God, this film just is a whole nother level. This is what we wanted. There's no humans, it is Godzilla versus Kong, bang, bang, bang. There's no humans, there's no talking, yet there is lots of talking at the same time. And that is what makes this film amazing. The fact you can have a conversation in your head what Godzilla and Kong are saying to each other, and they're not actually saying a single thing. You can tell by the emotions on their face. You can tell how they're doing it. And it's amazing. And that is this film's strength. Now, if they got rid of that whole B-plot about MechaGodzilla, this film would be amazing. It will be top notch. Yes, the runtime will be brought down from just under 2 hours to around about the hour and a half mark, and you know what? That would have been perfect. Let's face it, all this film is two massive creatures fighting out. Two massive creatures with a massive fan base. This film was always going to be a success. You didn't actually have to try that hard. Yet, the human element. It's the same with Alien vs Predator. What let that down? The human element. When you've got things this iconic, you don't need it. Now, this film was praised for its special effects, and oh my God, yes, they were amazing. You can't knock it, and the fact that he made both creatures so emotive compared to the 60s version of people in suits, yeah, I got it. Another thing I didn't like was brought up where they made Godzilla the bad guy. So you are forced to cheer on Kong. Now, if they hadn't have done that, who would you be cheering? And that's the ultimate question. Would you still be cheering on Kong if they hadn't made Godzilla the bad guy? I would have preferred it. It would have caused discussions if you were watching it with your family. I want Kong to win. I want Godzilla to win. You would have drawn so much more people in. But yeah, if you're going to watch this film, just watch it for the last 45 minutes. Watch the whole film, but trust me, the last 45 minutes are worth the wait until MechaGodzilla turns up. Actually, no, MechaGodzilla was absolutely frigging awesome. It was just a shame they've used him here because they've wasted that opportunity for later on. But yeah, a fun-filled, adrenaline-packed film is what you get with this. Very worth the price you pay for it. So much so, even with the lull in the middle, I'm still actually going to give this an 8 out of 10 berries. I'm going soft in my old age. Anyway, that's what I think. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Did you like this film? Did you hate this film? Are you glad they put MechaGodzilla in? Or do you wish they actually put MechaGodzilla in its own film? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to get in touch with me, just search for @Berryman81. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok, you know it, I'm there. And on to next week, James Bond is coming. Ding, 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 ding. Ooh. Copyright strike. Oh dear, I'm gonna have to sort that out. I'll see you next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.